Did you know that some of the most iconic scenes were almost cut, or that real-life mobsters inspired characters? In this video, we're going deep into the making of the Untouchables with 20 weird and shocking facts that you definitely didn't know. Number 1. Kevin Costner almost didn't play Elliot Ness. It's hard to imagine anyone but Kevin Costner as the heroic federal agent Elliot Ness, but the truth is, he almost didn't land the role. Before him, several other actors were considered, including Mel Gibson and Tom Cruise. The producers were torn between star power and the raw authenticity Costner brought to the character. Ultimately, his ability to balance vulnerability and toughness won him the part, making him the face of law enforcement for a generation. Number 2. The famous staircase shootout scene nearly didn't happen. The iconic stairway shootout is considered one of the most memorable scenes in cinematic history, but it was almost scrapped. The director, Brian De Palma, worried that the scene's violent nature might alienate audiences. It took extensive storyboarding and rehearsals before he felt confident it would convey the brutality of crime without glorifying it. Today, it's studied in film schools as a masterclass in tension and pacing. Number 3. Sean Connery improvised some of his most famous lines. Though Sean Connery is celebrated for his precise acting, several of his best lines were improvised on set. His famous "Here's to us" toast wasn't in the original script. Connery's natural charm and presence led to spontaneous moments that gave his character, Malone, a warmth and wisdom that wasn't fully written on the page, but became one of the film's most beloved elements. Number 4. The movie's noir aesthetic was carefully crafted to mirror the 1930s. Every frame of The Untouchables reflects meticulous research into the Prohibition era. The sets, costumes, and lighting were designed to evoke a world steeped in corruption and desperation. De Palma deliberately used shadow-heavy cinematography and period-accurate details to make the audience feel like they were stepping back into Chicago's darkest hours. Number 5. Robert De Niro studied real gangsters to prepare for Al Capone's role. Robert De Niro's chilling portrayal of Al Capone wasn't just about looking menacing. He studied photographs, biographies, and interviews of real gangsters from the 1920s and 30s to replicate the cold arrogance and swagger of Capone. De Niro also adopted subtle facial expressions and body language that reflected the way mobsters asserted dominance without speaking. Number 6. The film's score by Ennio Morricone almost didn't happen. Ennio Morricone, known for creating some of the most haunting film scores, was a last-minute addition to the project. The producers had initially considered other composers, but realized that only Morricone's atmospheric compositions could capture the tension and despair of the story. His music added layers of emotion that elevated the film from a crime thriller to a gripping character study. Number 7. The film's opening scene was a homage to classic gangster films. The opening scene, with its dark streets and hushed conversations, pays tribute to earlier crime dramas from the 1930s and 40s. De Palma drew inspiration from films like Scarface and Little Caesar to set the tone for a morally complex world where violence, loyalty, and justice collide. It's a deliberate nod that anchors the film in a broader cinematic tradition. Number 8. Real law enforcement officers were consulted during production. To ensure accuracy in portraying federal agents and police procedures, the filmmakers consulted retired law enforcement officials. These experts helped shape dialogue, tactics, and protocol used by Elliot Ness and his team, giving the film an edge of realism that made its dramatic moments feel all the more impactful. Number 9. The chemistry between the lead actors was carefully built with rehearsals. Kevin Costner, Sean Connery, and Andy Garcia's on-screen relationships weren't left to chance. The director insisted on multiple rehearsals to build trust between the actors, ensuring their interactions felt natural and emotionally charged. This careful preparation contributed to some of the film's most heartfelt scenes. Number 10. The film's ambiguous ending was a creative choice. The film's ending doesn't offer a neat resolution, and that was entirely intentional. De Palma wanted audiences to wrestle with the reality that justice doesn't always come easily, and heroes face moral gray areas. The unresolved emotions at the end leave a haunting impression, encouraging viewers to reflect on the cost of fighting crime in a corrupt world. Number 11. The film's depiction of Prohibition-era Chicago included real historical references. Many of the locations, events, and characters in The Untouchables are based on actual incidents from Chicago's violent and corrupt Prohibition period. For example, the rivalry between law enforcement and organized crime in the film draws from real conflicts involving Al Capone's syndicate and federal agents trying to dismantle his empire. The filmmakers took care to weave these details into the story to create a sense of authenticity. Number 12. Kevin Costner trained extensively to perform action sequences. Though Kevin Costner wasn't originally known for physically demanding roles, he underwent rigorous training before filming. He worked with stunt coordinators and weapons specialists to master gun handling, tactical movements, and fight choreography. This preparation allowed him to deliver believable action scenes without relying heavily on stunt doubles. Number 13. The film's portrayal of Al Capone avoided caricature. Instead of turning Capone into a one-dimensional villain, the filmmakers aimed to present him as a multifaceted figure, charismatic, ruthless, and strategic. Robert De Niro's performance leaned into the calculated menace behind Capone's charm, making him both terrifying and oddly compelling. This nuanced portrayal set the film apart from other gangster movies that leaned toward over-the-top villainy. Number 14. The infamous train station shootout was filmed using practical effects. The climactic shootout at the train station is remembered for its intensity and realism, and much of this was achieved through practical effects rather than CGI, which wasn't widely used at the time. The production team used squibs, controlled pyrotechnics, and precise choreography to simulate gunfire and explosion, lending a visceral sense of danger to the sequence that audiences still praise today. Number 15. The film's screenplay was inspired by real FBI cases. Screenwriter David Mamet drew inspiration from actual FBI investigations and reports from the 1920s to craft scenes that reflected the methods and frustrations faced by law enforcement at the time. By grounding the narrative in real tactics and procedures, the film's dialogue and plot lines avoided cliches and offered a more grounded, believable depiction of crime fighting. Number 16. Sean Connery's Oscar win was his only Academy Award. For his role as Malone, Sean Connery won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, marking his only Academy Award win throughout his illustrious career. Despite being internationally famous for playing James Bond, this performance showcased a depth and gravitas that few critics recognized at the time, and it remains one of his most celebrated achievements. Number 17. The film's moral complexity set it apart from other crime dramas. Rather than simply glorifying law enforcement or demonizing criminals, The Untouchables explored the blurred lines between right and wrong. The film's characters face ethical dilemmas, personal sacrifices, and unintended consequences, allowing viewers to empathize with both sides of the conflict. This approach resonated deeply and influenced crime dramas that followed. Number 18. The period details were so accurate that historians praised the film. Experts on the Prohibition era applauded the filmmaker's commitment to period accuracy. From the costumes and vehicles to the set design and dialogue, every detail was crafted to reflect the 1920s environment faithfully. This attention to detail helped immerse viewers in the world of gangsters and corrupt officials. Number 19. The film subtly critiques the glamorization of crime. While showcasing organized crime's brutality, the film also highlights the seductive allure of power and money. Characters like Malone and Capone are not purely evil or heroic, but flawed human beings, which invites viewers to question the societal fascination with outlaw figures. This thematic complexity makes The Untouchables more than just a crime thriller. It's a reflection on human nature. Number 20. The film's success influenced later crime dramas. The narrative style, moral ambiguity, and meticulous craftsmanship in The Untouchables inspired a generation of filmmakers. Movies like Heat, The Departed, and The Irishman owe much of their storytelling approach to the groundwork laid by this film, proving that it wasn't just a hit at the box office, but a turning point in how crime stories were told on the big screen.